you're getting ready to watch is a conversation between myself and Anthony Tompole, my client. And the sound's not going to be great. We recorded this a couple of times. I'm not very technical, and so we couldn't fix the sound like we wanted to, and it sounded really, really bad at first. But please, bear with us. It is the best that we could do. We wanted to get something out to the public. We wanted people to know that Anthony's okay, and that he's doing well and how he's living his life. And so this is a short conversation between us about what's going on with him, where we're at in his probation, and what we anticipate over the next maybe year or so in his life and moving him forward. We really appreciate everything that you all have done for us. We express it together in this talk about how grateful we both are, about just the remarkable outpouring of love and support. And I want to echo that here again and say, from my heart, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. All right, Anthony, what's going on, man?
All right, what's up?
Not a lot, man. So, look, I appreciate you coming in. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you for a minute, just to kind of get a feel for, what's going on in your life.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
We've had a lot of people reach out. A lot of people be very generous with their time, their effort, love, concern, care. I mean, it's been just overwhelming. And I know people wanted to hear from you, just how you were doing, how you were doing in life. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and we're at almost like 90,000 on the GoFundMe. We're doing really good.
Which is crazy.
That's really crazy. That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I don't even think it's been up a month, and it's already that much. I went crazy with it.
It's just nuts, man. And I mean, how does that make you feel that people cared enough to give you that kind of money? I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy to think because I know most of y'all don't even know me. Most of y'all are probably in different countries. I don't know why you would send so much to a person you don't even know, but I do really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just an expression. I think, like we were talking about a little while ago, it's an expression of just how sweet people are, and how much they were concerned for you and cared for you after watching the show.
Yeah, for sure. It's really crazy.
And they felt connected to you. I think, like in the end, like when you were being emotional during that conversation, people really felt like they saw a part of Anthony.
Yeah.
And that's cool, man. I think they felt connected to you in that way. Let's talk a little bit about your life. Are you working right now?
Yeah, I got a job.
Where are you working?
I'm working in Point Compeat Parish.
At a grocery store?
At a grocery store, yeah.
And what do you do? What's your daily work life? What is that?
I usually, I work in a deli. So, like, I cut people's meat and, like, fried chicken and stuff. That's what they have me do, just cook and clean and stuff.
And you're having to interact with people every day.
Yeah, I gotta talk to everybody.
How's that going?
It's going all right. Customers can be pretty hard sometimes, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm still in the service business. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I was in the restaurant service business for a long time, and some customers are very, very hard to deal with, and you just have to kind of put a smile on your face and be like, yeah, okay, let me do what I can for you.
Yeah,
which is hard. It's just hard. Let's talk a little bit about education. How's that going? That's a part of the probation that you're on, that you have to finish education. So we've talked about that a lot. But can you tell the audience, what's going on with your education? What's happening right now?
So right now, in like a week or two, I got to go take a test, and then I'm gonna officially start, working towards my GED.
Working towards your GED, and so that's, everybody knows, that's a general education diploma.
It actually might be called a high set or something. Now I don't really know how it works, but
It's a high set.
Yeah,
it's just getting a high school diploma without going to high school.
Yeah,
by passing a set of tests.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's the work? Are you struggling with English, with math, with language? I mean, is there any particular area that you're struggling with, or are you feeling pretty good about it?
I really think I could pass everything but the math.
But the math.
It's just math. I don't know, algebra or none of that. So.
Yeah, the whole X, Y gets a little frustrating.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
We've talked about that before, right? How about that is kind of a leap of understanding when you start to get the numbers down, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait a second, now I got to deal with letters and like representations of numbers or possible numbers. Yeah, that's really a trip.
Math is hard though. Everybody struggles with math. Ain't nothing new.
That's right. A lot of people. Everybody
hates math. Let's be
I love math.
Really?
Oh, all my life.
Very
man.
few people do.
There you go. Hey, it's very few. 50% of the people
If you
on
love-
this thing, but not most people.
If you love math, you're gonna be something. Let's just say that.
That's great. I don't know though. I think there's a lot of people out there that really can't stand math that are very successful
That
because
is true.
a lot of things don't require math.
No, but it is one thing if you know numbers. If you know numbers like that, like you're gonna be wrong with it.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. And so, other than that, you doing okay with the education then?
Yeah.
Good. And we're getting you some resources, and we kind of have come up with a little plan. I mean, it's sort of a loose plan on what to do with all the money that you've received in the GoFundMe. I think we're going to spend some money on a car, right?
Yeah, the car
And buy like a decent car, something that'll last you 3 or 4, maybe 5 years, something that'll not break down on you, something that won't cost you.
I'm thinking like a slightly pre-owned
Like a slightly,
vehicle.
slightly pre-owned, good, well-made car,
Yeah,
something that's
like that
reliable.
brand.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
right. And then, so we'll take a little bit of money to do that, and then we'll take a little bit of money and put it toward some tutoring, which I think we've talked about, right? Let's
Yeah,
let's
we're
get
gonna-
some math tutoring
We're gonna get some
specifically.
math tutoring if I need the help on it. I gotta get started and see how I'm doing in math because it's been a long time since I really focused on it.
Yeah, and you might find, it's funny. I know that you have this idea in your head. A lot of times we get ideas like that, like I'm not good at that, but it's only because we were never really given a way to think about it. No one ever really taught us how to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I was terrible at English. And I hated reading. I still don't like to read very much. But I didn't like reading very much, and I was really terrible at reading and writing. Now I'm a doggone lawyer.
Yeah.
All I do is write.
all you do is write.
And so it's like,
Crazy boring stuff.
yeah,
I imagine,
it opens, the world opens up to you if you have a great teacher, if you have somebody that really can teach you things, man, like a whole world will open up to you. Like, holy cow, I'm actually pretty good at this.
yeah,
I just didn't have the information in the first place.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it could be that you're better at math than you think you are.
Oh, I'm good at multiplication. I'm good at subtraction and adding. It's just I don't know all the complicated stuff.
Right. Well, just keep keep an open mind. It might be that you're better at it than you think you are. But once you really,
Once I get it down, I think I'll be really good at it.
Yeah,
It's
once
just
they teach you,
learning
you know?
it is really hard.
that's right. That's difficult. Well, do you have any other interest? I mean, I know that education. Look, I mean, right now we have a target about education because that's what the court's asking you to do. Do you have any interest in what you want to do? What kind of career you want to have? What kind of person? I don't know about career. That's a tough word. What do you want to do for a living? What kind of person you want to be out there? How do you want to kind of present yourself to the universe?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted money. But I couldn't ever figure out how to get it. I never wanted to be famous, but now I have money and fame, and I want to meet some other famous people, and I'm gonna start a bigger social media presence. I got a lot of options now that I didn't have before. I'm thinking about getting a gaming PC, maybe start streaming if I don't like that. I'm thinking about coming up with a clothing brand. Maybe I'll get into music one day. I got a lot of options.
The world is out there for you, which is interesting because I think one of the things that has been a product of what happened with you about the events that occurred in your life is that you went from this world where almost nothing was possible to now everything.
Yeah.
and really, when everything becomes possible, sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, because a couple of days ago, I was at my job and I was thinking, I just came to the conclusion I got so much money and fame that I could literally do whatever I want to do now. I don't gotta work a job. I don't gotta be constrained like I used to.
Don't have to go and work at $8 an hour or whatever, $7 an hour, and you can actually maybe think in bigger terms.
Yeah, and I'm willing to. You gotta spend money to make money. I can take some risk, and if it don't pan out, it's all good. I still got more.
And then here's the thing too. I'll tell you, just to be frank with you, it also takes work. Sometimes we don't see the work. Sometimes we see the success. We see the people reaching milestones in their life, people being successful in milestones. And sometimes it appears from the outside that it just happens, but it never just happens.
Yeah.
It takes a tremendous effort. And I'm not talking about 40 hours a week. I'm talking about 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week. I mean, Because have you ever heard the concept it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert at something?
I never heard that.
So there's this idea, this concept out there that if you do something for 10,000 hours, 10,000, that's a lot of hours, right? If you do something for 10,000 hours, then you become an expert at it. Okay, maybe some people can do it at 7,000. Maybe some people need 15,000. But the point is that you need to put a tremendous amount of effort into that, right?
Yeah.
So 10,000 hours at 100 hours a week is more than 2 years, or right at 2 years, right?
Well,
That's a big deal, right? But if you're willing to put the time and effort in, if you're willing to put 100 hours a week, it's 2 years. But if you're doing 40 hours a week, it's 5 years, right? So so there's a big difference in accelerating your life if you're willing to work hard.
for sure. And I've had to put in a lot of work. I've had to work 40 plus hours a week. There's been things that I've committed to, like hobbies I committed to, like gaming. Like I can't even tell you how much time I played video games. There's whole games I've literally got months in game time in. Like I've put more than 10K hours in a game. And, like I know.
Pretty good at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, right? But like, I could if I could apply that energy to somewhere else, which I know I can because I've done it before.
And you apply that to something that is maybe more advantageous to your future. Look, I'm a gamer. I've told you already. I play video games. It's my escape. It's what I do for fun. It is something I super enjoy. But if you can also put that kind of time into something that's productive or learning or something that raises your bar or makes, like gives you an opportunity to be a better person or make a little more money or, have an effect on the world, well, man, cool,
For sure.
right? Sign me up, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And one thing about if I'm gonna put in time into something, I'm gonna enjoy it. Like that's how I'm gonna do it. So if
Well,
I
yeah.
can find something that I can enjoy, then it's not gonna feel like work. Then I'm gonna want to do it all the time, and
That's
now
right.
the hours gonna add up.
Wake up happy. You wake up and you're like, oh man, let me get to work.
Yeah.
let me get to this business because I like it, because I'm having fun.
I mean, yeah, because it's one thing if you wake up, you gotta go do a job and get money, and then you come home and you're tired. But if you wake up, you have no job. You don't have to do anything. You just do what you want.
And that's what, I tell you what, that's the sort of gift that's been given to you with this money is that, we talked about it, that the amount of money that you've gotten is more money than you can make in 3 or 4 years at your current job.
It's the most money I've made. Well, it's more money that I've made in my entire life.
Your entire life and all the work that you've done, right? And so can you use that to accelerate or to launch yourself into something greater, right? In other words, can you change your station in life? Can you change where you are in life because you've gotten this head start and use it for that? Understand that it's purposeful. Look, have some fun, enjoy yourself. I've told you this already.
Yeah.
Take a trip, buy some clothes, do some things that are just fun. Go see the Grand Canyon. Go see some cool stuff. Don't by any stretch of the imagination deny yourself just joy, okay? Because joy is very, very important. But also, can we use it in a way that accelerates or lifts you up in a way that maybe you would have never otherwise been able to? And that's really what I hope that you see in it. That's really what I hope that you see as an opportunity.
Well, having fun with the money is gonna put you in a positive mindset, make you more creative, and make you want to do other stuff. And like I said, I don't like spending money. I don't like spending large chunks of money. I like making money.
I know we talked about that a minute ago. You're not a big money
I'm
spender.
not a big spender.
Right. That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
If you ain't got it like that, you ain't got it.
well, and I'll tell you, you look at people like Mark Zuckerberg or people like that are billionaires and walk around in T-shirts because it's like, what do I got to prove, man?
Like, you already know I got more than you.
I got to prove nothing. I can just be chill and just be me, and it is what it is. I mean, I think that's funny that sometimes even the richest people don't see a need.
Yeah.
And having some money doesn't mean that you have to show it off. It just means, hey, let's use it. Let's use it in the best way possible, right?
Yeah. Obviously, I like to look good and stuff.
So how are you feeling about probation? Can we talk about that for a minute, or we're wrapping that up, right? As soon as the education is done, we've talked at length about the fact that I think we may at least be able to ask the court to relieve you of your probation obligation at the halfway point.
So I think we're like a year. Like if I can get my GED, what I got like 11 months after I lost track.
You have 11 months to the halfway point of your probation.
Yeah. All right. So 11 months. 11 months from now, I will have reached 2.5 years on probation. And if I can get my GED before then I can get off probation at 2.5 years.
That's right. And you got to get at it. I mean, you understand that, right? We've spoken
Yeah.
seriously about like 11 months seems like a long time, but for learning, it's not. Like you're really going to have to put that effort in and start now, and you have. I mean, you went and spoke to the people in education. And to be clear with the people outside, there was some struggle about getting the education started over the last
Yeah.
18 months because of COVID, right?
There was COVID. I was homeless. I had to move to a whole other city, all type of stuff. I had to get my money up because I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had less than a band to my name, so I really had to focus.
What's a band? A lot of people don't know what a band is.
For all you non-Americans, it's $1,000. It's just a slang term.
So you had less than $1,000 to your name, and you had to kind of build that up and save some money.
Yeah.
That's right. And to be clear, you were homeless because at some point there was some conflict between you and your stepmom, Susan, and and you left the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about the fact that you have not spoken to, really had any interaction with, or regularly spoken to anyone in the documentary other than me?
Yeah, you're the only person I've talked to out of anybody in the documentary since it came out.
Yeah.
Well, since a while ago. I don't even remember.
Right. Since you left Susan's house.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't really have a lot of communication with those guys. Can you tell me why you feel that way? Is it just something you're going through? Just something like you just don't feel like rehashing all of that time in your life? Or is it that you're just trying to be independent?
Well, I'm trying to be independent, and I'm trying to surround myself with positive people, and it's just best to focus on myself right now.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, for sure, for sure. I mean, look, there are a lot of times in life where you got to kind of bring the world in around you and say, okay, I'm gonna just function right now with just this stuff. I'm gonna do this little stuff, this stuff close to me, real good, and when I feel great about it, then maybe I can start expanding, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What about your mom, Teresa, and the ladies over in Texas? Have you had any interaction with them?
So y'all saw in the documentary, we went down to Texas to go see them, but since then I haven't talked to them.
Okay. And is that something that you think you might do in the future, or you just don't know at this point?
I'm not sure at this point.
Okay. And that's fair. Look, I mean, we've talked at length. I think I've been really clear with you that you're in charge of it. Like, you're in charge of the way that your life goes. You're in charge of the time you spend with people. And it's super okay for you to be however you want to be. Right? Like, it's okay. And so, if you want to talk to them, great. If you don't, great. I get it, right? And you're not, as harsh as it may seem, you are not responsible for taking care of anyone else's emotional state.
That's right.
It's just you. Like, right now, make sure Anthony's okay, right? Especially as long as we're on probation, especially as long as we're getting through the court system, as long as you got that, that court system looking down on you. And right now, we just stay on the straight and narrow, do everything we're supposed to do, take care of yourself, right?
That's right.
That's been my mantra the whole time, right? Take care of yourself. Make sure you're okay. And I want you to continue to do that. I mean, I think that's very, very important. And as we get through with that, and as you really get freedom, because let's be frank, you have a lot more freedom now than you had, but you're not free.
I'm not free. I'm not a free man. I'm serving my time outside of prison.
But you're serving time. You have obligations to the court. You have obligations to your probation officer. You have obligations to my office. You have obligations to help yourself. I mean, in terms of, when I say my office, I mean, we have to check in on you. We have to make sure you're okay. We have to go to court together. You have to be present in the courtroom, right? I mean, all those things, right?
For sure,
And we're going to continue to do that stuff. And when it's over, that's going to be real freedom, real liberty, real Anthony's ready to roll.
Yeah.
And I have a really important question for you. And you know what I've told you about this. You think you're going to stay in Louisiana?
Well, I'm definitely getting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave immediately, but my ultimate goal is definitely got to get out of this state. I advise anybody that lives in this state to leave. If you got to be homeless in another state, you're probably better off.
I love Louisiana, so I can't agree with you, but I get, man, I get where you're coming
I'm
from.
gonna say this: I love and hate Louisiana. I love and hate it.
You know, I think everybody's now that we agree on. We've talked about that. That I love the state because it's where I'm from. It's my people, man. You
It's
know,
great. People are great.
man. Sometimes
So man, it's
when I walk outside and it's 193,000 degrees.
I walk outside, I can't even breathe properly.
Oh, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. So, I guess just a couple more questions for you because I don't want to, I want to take up all your time, man. Do you have anything you want to say to all these people who've reached out, the hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of people who sent messages? And I know we've read some of those together. I know you've read a lot of them on your own. Do you have anything you want to say to them, just directly to them?
No, I just want to say I appreciate it. No, for sending me all the money that y'all can. Some of y'all went really crazy with it. Like I know one person, it remained anonymous, sent $25,000. That's a lot. And you know, when it first started up, it was just going up and up and up so fast. Like it was crazy. Y'all really messed it. Y'all really outdid yourselves. I really appreciate it.
And what about what about the people who didn't send money, but the people who reached out just to say kind things and connect with you and share their own stories, their own life, their own struggles? I mean, I thought that was so sweet, man.
You know, I really do. I watch y'all's TikToks. I watch y'all's stuff on YouTube and stuff, and I really do. Y'all appreciate y'all just mentioning me, like just saying my name and all that. You know, it really do mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
You know, I have to say, Anthony, as a kid, growing up in Louisiana, growing up like I did, I never thought that I would be anything really, right? I mean, just didn't. I just didn't think I would ever be successful, man. And here I am being successful by any measure. But even more than that, something's happened in the last month that I just would never have imagined in my wildest dreams. My story, your story, our story has been told all over the world, man. People
Yeah.
all over the world know our story.
That's crazy because Louisiana is not very popular. You know, we really came up from nothing. You know,
It's just crazy,
it's just
man.
living legends type stuff, man.
It's touching to me. I think it touches my heart. It makes me feel, the other day I was sitting and listening to some podcast people in London talk about me, and in London, England, whatever that is over there, and I thought, oh my God, like what? like these people are saying my name and they're talking on this podcast to all these people in Europe, like. What? Like, who? How did this happen, man? Like, how did we manage this? And you too. I mean, like your whole life, you know?
Yeah, like we're just some Americans trying to live, and like
Literally just some dudes from southern Louisiana, man. It's a trip.
ain't nothing going on over here. Like it's crazy.
It's really been something, man. It's been a hell of an experience, I have to say, man. And it's been, and so I know this is going to sound weird to you, but thank you. I mean,
Thank you, Sue. You already know.
you didn't have to allow me into your life. You certainly didn't have to allow me to represent you. You certainly had. I mean, you really just had no idea what kind of attorney I was when I showed up. For sure, man. I mean, I could have just been anybody. I could have been a complete dumbass.
You know, obviously I took a risk by choosing you, but the other option wasn't too good either.
That's right. The comparison was good, so I was in a good spot. But I appreciate you believing in me.
I will say this as an attorney, you blew the other one out of the water.
Thank you, buddy.
I'll say that.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And look, I appreciate you believing in me. I hope that you know that I believe in you. I've believed in you since the first day, and I will continue to do so, man. Continue to hopefully see you experience the good in life, right? And even if it's not money-based or fame-based or any of that stuff, just to have joy and happiness in your life, man. It's good to see.
That's right. That's right.
Good to see you smiling. Good to see you enjoying your life. And in fact,
Kayla.
you want Kayla to come talk over here? Hold on just a second. So I'm gonna skip over because we're gonna move some stuff around, and then we're gonna bring Kayla on, which is Anthony's girlfriend. Is that okay? Awesome. All right. So we're back. We're back with Kayla. Why don't you tell people who you are?
Well, I'm Kayla. I'm Anthony's girlfriend. We've been together for 2.5 years.
And so you guys been around together for a long time.
Oh yeah.
and you guys live together,
Yes.
and you're just living life together, right?
Right. Right.
And what's your, I mean, like, you know, a lot of people will experience Anthony from this TV show, but what's your everyday experience of Anthony? I mean, what's he like?
He's really sweet. He's just a normal person like everyone else. But he cries, he laughs. We have a good time a lot. Sometimes we go out like to the movies or to party and all that, and it's always a fun time to be around him.
Right. And so it's just you're living a normal life.
Right.
Nothing, I mean, none of these events have interfered with your life in any way or your relationship. You're just having a normal life.
Oh no, not at all.
You know, and I've spoken previously about the fact that we had a hurricane here last year in Louisiana, and Anthony left town.
Yeah.
With?
With my family. My mom was like, "Hey guys, there's this storm coming in. We gotta go ahead to Florida somewhere." So she rounded up my grandmother, she rounded up Anthony and I, and we drove up to Georgia.
Right. And I know this because Anthony had to call me to ask me if he could leave the jurisdiction on probation. And I told Anthony, you go take care of yourself and I'll take care of this business with the court, right? I mean, and I just wanted to say to you, thank you. Thank you to your mother for being so sweet, for, you know, bringing Anthony into your life, bringing Anthony into your family's life and taking care of him. And, you know, like welcoming him as a member of the family, which I think is just absolutely fabulous. You know, the other day we were talking, and you told me something about getting into the relationship with Anthony and what Anthony had said to you about that. Can you remember what that was?
Well, when we first got together, I didn't know much about his case. I saw that he had an ankle bracelet on, and I asked about it. He was like, "Oh, I don't really want to talk about it." So eventually, I ended up Googling his name because, you know, when you first start dating someone,
Makes sense, right?
that's what you want to do. And everything popped up, and the first thing I asked was, "Well, why?" Because he isn't the type of person to just be like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cause some havoc." So, I asked him his side of the story, and he was very honest with me, and I was accepting of that.
And when you say he wasn't the kind of person to cause havoc, you mean he's kind of a peaceful cat.
Right, like he wouldn't bother anyone. Even if someone provokes him, he wouldn't just go ahead and go at them with the same manner. He'd still stay chill and orderly.
Yeah, which is really interesting. And so for you, it was like, well, that's hard to reconcile those.
Right, right.
I think Anthony had said something to you, and I'll kind of tell you what I remember you saying to me is that Anthony, when he got together with you and decided, you know, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you, I think he said something to the effect of what?
I asked him, "Well, why do you want to be in a relationship with me? What made you want to be with me?" And he said, "Well, I wanted someone to love, and I wanted someone to love me." And that was a really big green flag for me, you know.
To be clear, that is the secret of life. let's be clear right now that finding someone to love and finding someone that loves you, I mean, that's it, man. Like there's not a whole lot else out there, right? I mean, there's a lot else out there, but there's not so many things that are important as
Right,
just,
love is very important.
just feeling love, man. Just feeling accepted and feeling like somebody cares about you. It's a big deal, you know. And I appreciate and acknowledge that you guys do that for each other. I think it's really, really wonderful. And one of the reasons that Anthony's doing so well is that he has you.
No, appreciate that.
I really do. I believe that. I know Anthony believes that too, right? I mean, I know that that's part of what goes on with you, man. So you guys stay strong and support each other and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself with you know the generosity of others and what's been given to you. I really hope y'all decide to take a couple of trips and go on some vacations and go see some of the world that you may not have otherwise have been able to do. You know, like go enjoy yourself. So, anything else?
My family, they love him a lot. They have welcomed him in with welcome arms. They have been so excited whenever he would come in, like to visit and everything. Like, "Oh, hey, Anthony, where you been?"
That's great, man. That's great. It's good. It's good to feel welcome. You know?
Yeah.
Amongst people who are peaceful, kind, loving, all those things we expect people to be, and so much different than what it was. So. Well, thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate you being here, Anthony. I appreciate Kayla you coming on here. Appreciate y'all talking to me, and you know, obviously we're gonna speak a lot more. We always do, but you know, if there's something else to say, you know, say it. And I think I talked to Anthony the other day about you're going to stand up some social media, right?
I had made an Instagram. I don't know if you want me to.
What I'll do is I'll link your Instagram in the bottom in the comment. I'll pin the first comment of this video as your Instagram link, and then I'll also kind of put it out there in some other places so people can follow you.
Yeah.
And then look, you can just go live and do reels and reels right on Instagram. You can do reels and such and let people know what's going on with you and just kind of keep people updated. I think people would love that, man. You
And
know?
look, whatever Jared says my social media is my social media. Any other one is fake.
That's right. There's
a lot of fakes.
a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of weird stuff out there right now. So yeah, so whatever's linked by me is obviously real. Let's be careful about everything else. So. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.